let's look back at page 35. Let's look at our big idea questions. Can a brief chance encounter make a lasting impact? Do people always need to be punished for their crimes? Let's discuss these questions. Now write your answer for the first question. Now write your answer for the second question. We'll come back to these questions after we finish reading the story. You can add to your answers as you gain information and perspective. Now let's look at our narrative preview checklist at the bottom of the page. For Thank You Ma'am on pages 37 through 41, we're going to look at the title. What clue does the title provide about the passage? The pictures. What additional information is added here? The margin information. What vocabulary is important to understand this story? Now, what is the title again? What clue do you think the title provides about the passage? Who do we call ma'am usually? Let's look to see what additional information the illustrations provide. What do you see? Now turn to page 36 in your student books. Let's take a look at the vocabulary words from Thank You Ma'am, the first text we will read in this unit. I am going to say each word aloud. You will repeat the word and write it in the third column. Then you will rate your knowledge of the word. Remember that 0 means that you've never heard the word before. 1 means you've heard the word, but you're not sure how to use it. 2 means that you're familiar with the word, but you're not sure if you know the correct exact meaning. And number 3 means that you know the meaning of the word and can use it correctly in a sentence. Remember, the points are there to help you know which words you need to focus on. By the end of this unit, you should be able to change all your ratings to a 3. That's the goal. And so now I'm going to say the word, you repeat it, write it down, and rate your knowledge of the word. Balance. Permit. Release. Frail. Furnished. Suede. Presentable. Embarrass. Latch. Stoop. Let's read the first word together. Balance. Balance means the ability to stay steady and not fall. What means the ability to stay steady and not fall? I tripped, lost my balance, and fell. I am amazed that models and dancers can keep their balance in such high heels. Some people use a cane to keep their balance. Is it hard to keep your balance when dizzy? Yes or no? Is it easy to keep your balance when lying down? Yes or no? Now tell about a time that you lost your balance. Let's read the next word together. Permit. Permit means to allow. What means to allow? During passing periods and lunch, you are permitted to use your phone. If it is an emergency, most teachers will permit you to use the restroom during class. I permit my children to have 1 soda per week. Would your parents permit you to miss a week of school for relaxation purposes? Yes or no? Will you be permitted into a concert without a ticket? Yes or no? Now tell what you wish your parents would permit you to do, but they don't. Let's read the next word together. Release. Release means to let go of or set free. What means to let go of or set free? If you release a balloon, it will float away. Some people want to release zoo animals from their cages. After they are released, prisoners might get used to being free again. Are students released from school at the end of the day? Yes or no? Is it sometimes hard to release hurt feelings? Yes or no? Now tell when you were released from an unpleasant task or duty. Let's read the next word together. Frail. Frail means weak and easily broken. What means weak and easily broken? Older people are sometimes thin and frail. If you have frail bones, they are prone to fractures. A frail tree will likely snap on a windy day. Is a frail person healthy and strong? Yes or no? Could a frail person win a boxing match? Yes or no? Now describe a person who you know who is frail. Let's read the next word together. Furnished. Furnished means having furniture, appliances, or basic supplies. What means having furniture, appliances, or basic supplies? People who do not own furniture can rent a furnished apartment. Some hotel rooms are nicely furnished, others have a bed only. Each soldier was furnished with food and water for the 2-day hike. Is this classroom furnished with a kitchen? Yes or no? Are you furnished with books and a writing utensil? Yes or no? Now describe how you would like your dream hangout room to be furnished. Let's read the next word together. Suede. Suede is soft, velvety leather. What is soft, velvety leather called? Suede boots keep your feet warm on a cold day. Items made of suede should be cleaned and brushed every so often. Suede pajamas would be hot and uncomfortable. Is suede rough and hard? Yes or no? Can a hat be made of suede? Yes or no? Now tell what accessory you would like to have in suede. Let's read the next word together. Presentable. If something is presentable, is it fit to appear in public? It is fit to appear in public. What means fit to appear in public? Many people do not feel presentable when they get out of bed in the morning. I like to paint, but my paintings would not be presentable in a museum. People in bathing suits are not presentable in a fancy restaurant. If you are presentable, are you clean? Yes or no? Would you want to look presentable when meeting someone you admire? Yes or no? Now tell 3 things that would make a person look presentable in your opinion. Let's read the next word together. Embarrass. Embarrass means to make someone uncomfortable or ashamed. What means to make someone uncomfortable or ashamed? It embarrasses some people to be praised in front of others. If you embarrass a friend, you should quickly apologize. I have a friend who tries to embarrass me by causing a scene in restaurants. Does it embarrass some people to sing in public? Yes or no? Does it embarrass you to drink water? Yes or no? Now tell about something that embarrassed you when you were younger. Let's read the next word together. Latch. Latch means to grip or to fasten onto. What means to grip or to fasten onto? Bear cubs latch onto each other when they are playing. Small children sometimes latch onto a parent when they are afraid. It is easy to build towers with small plastic building blocks that latch onto each other like Legos. Does a train car latch onto the tracks? Yes or no? Do raindrops latch onto a window pane? Yes or no? Now tell whether you have anything latched onto your backpack. Let's read the last word together. Stoop. A stoop is a small porch. What is a small porch called? Some people like to sit on their stoop on warm evenings. You often find potted plants on a stoop. If a house is raised, you may climb steps to reach its stoop. Is a stoop inside? Yes or no? Is there a door on one side of a stoop? Yes or no? Now tell whether your home has a stoop. If it does, tell what can be found on it. Now turn to page 37. Now that we are familiar with the vocabulary words, it's time to read. You will be reading a story with characters. One way to pay attention to the characters is to keep track of the dialogue, or who is talking. Dialogue is noted with quotation marks. Let's look at the example on the board. She said, "I didn't get enough sleep last night." Note the comma after said and the quotation marks and the fact that the period is inside of the quotation marks. Please skim the text and find the first piece of dialogue noted with quotation marks. Does the first paragraph include dialogue? How do you know? What about the second paragraph? Who is talking? How can you tell? Now find the next piece of dialogue. Who is talking? How can you tell? Find the next piece of dialogue. Who is talking now? What did he say? What does that mean? What is ma'am short for? I will read the first paragraph to model the reading behaviors of a good reader. While I read aloud, your eyes should be on the text. Follow along using your writing utensil as a pointer. She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but a hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she carried it slung across her shoulder. It was about 11 o'clock at night, dark, and she was walking alone when a boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke with a single tug the boy gave it from behind. but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance. Instead of taking off full blast as he had hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk and his legs flew up. The large woman simply turned around and kicked him right square in his blue-jeaned sitter. Then she reached down, picked the boy up by his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. What do you notice at the end of this paragraph? I want you to stop and think while reading, which is why the numbers are there. Sometimes it is helpful to make a prediction about what will happen next. Read the question in the margin that corresponds to the number. Let me model thinking after reading this first paragraph. I predict that the large woman will yell at him very loudly so that others gather and help her. What do you think will happen? Don't stop long enough to let your mind wander away from the text. This should be a brief pause to gather your thoughts. Now let's continue reading. After that, the woman said, "Pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it here." She held him tightly, but she bent down enough to permit him to stoop and pick up her purse. Then she said, "Now ain't you ashamed of yourself?" Firmly gripped by his shirt front, the boy said, "Yes'm." The woman said, "What did you want to do it for?" The boy said, "I didn't aim to." She said, You a lie." By that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped, turned to look, and some stood watching. "If I turn you loose, will you run?" asked the woman. "Yes'm," said the boy. "Then I won't turn you loose," said the woman. She did not release him. "Lady, I'm sorry," whispered the boy. Your face is dirty. I got a great mind to wash your face for you. Ain't you got nobody home to tell you to wash your face?" "No'm," said the boy. "Then it'll get washed this evening," said the large woman, starting up the street, dragging the frightened boy behind her.